There is a rule in the world of fitness, you ought to be aware of it. It's not easy to carry out a simple exercise just because it's a simple and a basic exercise. Particularly the push-up exercise, because the push-up exercise is a compound movement, which means there are many muscles and joints work together at the same time. This is why, if it isn't done properly and with a good form, this will be a huge problem, because not just affect the growth or the strength of your muscles, but leads to the pain and the risk of injury. However, do you know why institutions such as the police, military, schools, trainers at the gym, and even in the street challenges used push-up to assess general physical condition? Because the total amount of push-ups that you can accomplish is directly related to your upper body strength, such as your chest, triceps, shoulders, and your core. Now I'm gonna tell you something. It may seem obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many folks I've trained with where they assume that they know how to do push-ups correctly and perfectly, but in reality it's the opposite. They don't know. And today I'm gonna share with you some tips and tricks to increase your push-ups faster and reap the benefits and the advantages of push-ups without getting injuries. So let's begin. Hi, this is Dr. Ishak, and if this is your first time watching my videos or visiting my channel, don't hesitate to click in the red subscribe button for more tips and tricks about exercise, diet, nutrition, health, and everything related to fitness. So before start talking about our topic, to understand what I'm gonna say, you must watch the previous video. It's about how to get your first push-up easily, particularly if you are a beginner. I put the link here. So a significant issue I observed that individuals' fingers are more twisted in. This in itself promotes elbow flare and also increase our risk of shoulders tendinitis, which leads to the increasement of the load placed in the elbows, which means more unnecessary loads put in your elbows. Put your hands in straight position or slightly outward when performing push-ups, and don't miss to spread your fingers to get more stability and more power to push your body, and you can control your body against gravity. Put your hands slightly more than shoulders width. Try to turn your elbows in towards the lats, not out, and when you set up this, you can start do your push-ups. The next common issue, the majority of people make their hands wider than their shoulders and flaring their elbows because they aim and think that with this position will target the whole pectoral muscles and put more pressure on them. But unfortunately, this will make the bad worse and put both of your elbows and shoulders in the risk of getting injury. In addition, the more width of your hands leads to decrease and shorten the range of motion. Also, the width of your hands is responsible for your elbows flare by forcing them automatically to flare. A couple studies shown individuals who do this position, which I called the T position, having much lower levels of the chest and triceps activation and much lower levels in the development of strength when comparing them with individuals who perform narrow position. Studies also shown the more your shoulders flare out more than 60 degrees, the more risk of injury you will get. Personally, I use and I recommend my athletes always to try to never cross the 45 degree. Specifically the beginners. Look at these three of my athletes. One of them performed his push-ups with 0 degree, but the two others performed their push-ups with 45 degrees, and both of them correct. The first one puts the load on his triceps, and the others puts the tension in their chests. Try to apply this tactic because it's more safer and more beneficial. Or you may make your hands near to each other. This is a great technique to prevent your elbows flaring out and overload the triceps, but will decrease the number of reps that you can do. But the problem here, as a beginner, maybe you can't do it because it depends on the strength of your triceps, because some people have strength in their chest and weakness in their triceps, and vice versa. Another aspect of your push-ups technique you have to keep attention for it is to examine your shoulders shrugging. Sometimes you have appropriate hand and elbows set up, but actually it's simple to allow your shoulders to pull up towards the ears when you get a little tired. With this position, you will lose the stability and the pushing strength, because with this position, you move the pressure off from the chest towards the traps. So intentionally draw your shoulders down and far from your ears and open your chest and make your shoulders back. Then start doing your push-ups. Lastly, the position of your neck. And this is specifically for people who cheat during their exercise. When your front head or your chin touches the ground with the forward neck, the range of motion is ended because you can't dive deeply with this position. It renders the workout considerably simpler and much more easier. Actually, this is a slight technique allowing your body to deceive you and preventing you from achieving and reaping the whole advantages and benefits of push-ups. The second neck error people have tendency to do is cracking their necks and facing forward and up. Extremely extended the neck will result in a loss of energy and leads to quick tiredness. As a consequence, doing push-ups while rotating your neck backward actually isn't really wise technique, and your chance of injury, ashes, and soreness on your neck are higher because you put unnecessary stress on your neck vertebrae. So try to keep your neck in a neutral position and go deeper near to the floor from the first rep till the last rep. And for people who they have wrist pain or they have less flexibility on their wrist, you can use a small parallel or you can use dumbbells. And according to this study from the Journal of Hand Therapy, published in 2018, that 14 volunteers performed push-ups in hyperextended wrist and in a neutral wrist, where used the major ground reaction forces in biomechanics and according to the Newton's the third law. The ground reaction force, GRF, is the force exerted by the ground on a body in contact with. Okay, forget about what Newton said. I want to make things complicated for you. So the study showed push-ups on a neutral wrist are more safer on the ligaments. But you have to fix the issue in your wrist and to work on the flexibility and the mobility of your wrist to be able to do more variants of push-ups, because there are a lot of variants from this exercise. And now we are at the end of this video, and I hope those tips and tricks will help you in the future to increase your push-ups and reap the benefits and the advantages of push-ups. And God willing, in the future you will be able to do more complex push-ups. And guys, before you go, if you see the content of this video useful for you, try to click in the red subscribe button followed by the bell icon to make sure that you never miss a bit. If God willing, I see you in the next video.